This specific work sort of deals with the line of latitude or longitude, I forget the two, but it's the Tropic of Cancer that runs north of the equator, and it sort of connects all these different countries around the world. And the idea was to connect India and Mexico, and how when you see Indian people or Mexican people, they sort of look the same, and they often get confused. Like I've had friends who have been confused for Indian, or Indian friends who got confused for being Mexican or other Latino. And so there's this idea of the World Latina Belt. And it's basically this imaginary line that runs around the world, and it hits these countries that have people who look Latino, and they often get confused for being Latino. And so long before that was a thing, I was sort of examining those things with my work throughout these different lines of longitude, or latitude and longitude around the world. And so connecting Mexico and India made sense for me. And I'm Mexican myself, but I don't consider myself specifically Mexican. I like to explore the idea that I'm a global citizen, and I let other cultures really inspire my work. So for this specific work, going with the Tropic of Cancer, I just saw what countries lie along that line. And obviously I wanted to incorporate Mexico because that's my culture. And then I settled on India just because that's one of the countries where I feel like that confusion happens a lot. And so to take that even further, I went and looked for items or things that I wanted to incorporate into the work that capture the two countries. And so in this image that you'll see of my work, I'm wearing this shirt. This particular shirt that I'm wearing right now was made in India. And then I also incorporated the scarlet macaw, which is an animal that also lives in Mexico. And so those two things are what tie the whole thing together. And then visually, I wanted to make sure that we're using the same color palette. And so everything in the image is very cyan, magenta, yellow, white, and black. And that's basically the color palette and the composition. But then I also took it a little bit further, and I wanted to weather the shirt. I took it out in the sun, let it out for a week or so to weather it down and sort of tone down the colors to get the colors that I wanted to have in this work. And then I photoshopped it all together. I sat and took a photo of myself, and then photoshopped the macaw onto my shoulder, and then painted the whole composition on canvas.